Alright, hello everybody, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get in game. Today we are going to play Zoo Tycoon again, and I messed up, so I need to exit Zoo Tycoon as soon as it lets me. This is generally fine, except not fine at all, actually. So give me a moment. But yes, we will be continuing our Zoo Tycoon experience. We're gonna go ahead and continue, and I need to go into our options here. This window mode was the right call. Well, it wasn't, but I need to be checking everything here as well. Alright. So. Now we can go ahead. Full screen. And I can see the chat and everything is good. Alright. We are back. Last we left off, we had kind of been working on the basics of our zoo here. If we want to zoom in, actually. So we've obviously got our entrance, we've got a nice prairie dog cafe and a restaurant over here as well. So we've done a lot of work making sure the design is good, making sure it's walkable, making sure everything is good to go. And yeah, we've currently got the zoo divided into two areas so far. We've got Africa over here. So we've got giraffes, we've got lions, we've got elephants, we got mandrills, we got some camels, and we got some ostriches. Sorry, I thought the fence had corroded. That's going to be fun when the fence decides to corrode here soon. How many maintenance guys do I have? 2. That's not nearly enough. We're going to get another maintenance guy. Another tour person. Alright. Yeah, the last thing I want is for the lions or the elephants to get their stuff corroded, and that just takes my zoo, it takes my zoo into the ground, but also it just generally doesn't do good things for the animals. So yeah, we've got North America here. Right now we've just got grizzly bears and bison. So we will need to expand, but North America is meant to encompass this whole area here. So we will be going and taking care of that. But then we have the rest of this space for Africa and Asia. Not Africa and Asia, Asia and Australia. And there's not a lot of animals from Australia, unfortunately. That's just the way that the game is set up. There's a lot of African animals. So there's one from Australia. Large chimpanzee bars, good. So, Asia. So, lots of Asian representation. Not a ton of Australian representation. Like, again, I think it's just kangaroos for Australia. So what I'm actually thinking about doing is I'm going to combine Australia, Antarctica, and Indonesia. Because there's a lot of Southeast Asian representation. And that's close ecologically. Like, it's not my preference, but it's close. So that's, I think, what we're going to do. So that's kind of the plan today, is to go ahead and try to fill out the rest of this park. We still have half our funds left over after completing all this. So let's get a couple more animals into North America real quick. I certainly want a moose, and I certainly want wolves. So I think I can have just a standard gray wolf. Can I? Well, yes. Yes, so I'll do gray wolves, I'll do a moose, and then we will see where we're at after that. You can always do Mexican gray wolf. Seros are basically the same thing, but just the important distinction of they're not from here. Okay. So, yeah, this is how I want this to go. And I'm basically going to have it... Hold on. Let's undo that. I need to see... I think I want it to wrap into here, right? Okay. Oh. Pause. As you can see, the corrosion has begun. And while I do have people hired to do this, it is generally better to do it when you see it. And rather than just letting the maintenance people try to find it before your animals do. Because your animals are much closer to whatever fence corroded than your maintenance people are. And if there's one, there's generally more. So let's do that real quick just to make sure that everything is in that is supposed to be in. Alright. I'm cool with that. Okay. So let's think about this. Because right now, no, we don't want that there. Game's paused, so it's fine. So right now, that's the line of that. I don't want it that close to the grizzly bears. Okay? So we're not going to do it there. What we are going to do is maybe do it here. That still gives me one space so that the grizzly bears aren't going to get stressed out. And then we'll go to here. That way it skirts the edge of the park. And that gives me space for 2 or 3 more enclosures in here. And I can make a big loop like this so that people don't get confused about how to get through the park. They end back up at a food station and a bathroom station. I'll still have one in here, but basically they are going from a food station to a food station. So they should be okay. The Latin tile. Yes, it is. Okay, I think I did that right. I did. So that's what we're working with now. So the deal is, though, I don't want the people to be crowding my bears and stressing them out. For one thing, not cool for the bears. But 2, like, just generally would be better if you had a barrier there. Because that way the bears aren't getting stressed. If you want to see the bears, you got to go this way. This is how you see the bears. This is the North America section. So all the interior here is going to be North American. animals. And then this, we'll see what we have space for. I don't know whether it will be just a long enclosure for something. Gray wolves would actually be really nice as like a really long, skinny enclosure. That gives them space to run. But that being said, thinking about, not stressing the animals out, like if I'm going my normal route, that's the viewing area. And I can certainly build around that, but yeah, not generally ideal. So I like the idea of having this big square. I think it's nice and clean. It's just a matter of figuring out what fits in where that doesn't stress out my animals and also is traversable to the people. But I do want a moose. Moose is good. So first things first, I need to build out a viewing platform for the moose. I'm just going to go here, and I think we decided 1, 2, 3. It's 3. This one's just wrong. 3. And it tees out. So this is going to be a viewing platform. So there's one. So then the moose can be here. And then I'll just have the one tile access for zookeepers. So let's go ahead and just build out what that enclosure is going to look like. So it starts here. It's going to go to here. I'm also going to place it basically to here. You know what? This one's a corner piece, so it's going to get 2, and honestly, if it's going to be a corner piece, this might actually be wolves. Now that I'm thinking about it. So it's going to be a corner piece. So this is going to absolutely be wolves. I think I've been doing it singular. I don't remember. But that's okay. So then this is going to go just next to a viewing platform. That's the closest one. That makes it easiest for everybody involved. So that'll be wolves. And then this one then will be for the moose. Let's build out the viewing areas first so I know exactly how much space I am working with. It's another corner, so we'll do 2. Alright, so that'll be for the moose. Put that there. Okay, so I think I'm liking that. There is some dead space in here, but that's okay. It will get filled. Even if it's with something like this, where it's drinks, hot dogs, and some restrooms, right? It'll get filled. There is space enough in this corner for another education house, which probably deserves to be a thing. And then there's room back here for all sorts of fun things. That being said, put a guy and a girl moose in here. See if they decide to make mooselets. Shelters in both. That's important. You're right. Wolves do want rocks. Okay. So I'm not going to put my wolves in yet because I need to do this. Obviously, they want more foliage. They want fresh water, and they want a lot of fresh water because they swim. Them swimming. Fresh water. They want mostly deciduous. You know, they like a little bit of conifer floor as well. I'm just getting the hard to get to grass first. So we will play, we will pause. Play, pause. Too much deciduous, not enough grass. So they're not a species that hates grass. Good to know. Remember the moose being pretty finicky. Not enough grass. Too much deciduous still. Probably enough grass. More conifer forest. They want rocks. They certainly still want trees. So they're happy with that rock. They probably don't want another one. Yeah, they don't want another one. Okay. Don't like willow trees. Don't like bushes. Are these the ones that don't like any deciduous trees whatsoever? Okay. Dogwoods are good. Olive trees obviously are not. Do we have elm trees? Yeah. There. Elm trees are North American. They like these. Weeping willow? Yeah, you like this kind of willow, but not the other kind of willow. Birch? So that's good. I'm getting a lot of reports of animals not having enough food. So we're going to get another one of these guys in here, and we're going to get one in here. I get that they cost a lot, but at this point, like, unlike Zoo Tycoon, I cannot assign them job tasks. Wait. I can. Okay. Well, that makes sense. I might fire somebody. Alright. I got 7 zookeepers. Jesus Christ. Alright. So, zookeeper 1. Alright. How do I assign? You're assigned to giraffe. You're assigned to lions. You're assigned to elephants. Those are all relatively close together. This fence needs fixed while I'm here. So that's where you're assigned to. So zookeeper 2. You're assigned to the mandrills. You're assigned to the camels. You're assigned to the ostriches. Zookeeper 3. You are currently going to be assigned to the bears and the bison. Zookeeper 4. You're going to be assigned to the moose, and you will be assigned to the wolves. I'm going to keep 1 floater. So that means zookeeper 1 has half of Africa. Zookeeper 2 has the other half of Africa. Zookeeper 3 currently has half of North America. Zookeeper 4 will have the other half of North America. These two, and if I add anything else in here, that'll be their job. Zookeeper 5 at this point has no jobs assigned. I will mess with that later, but that is the current deal. So let me toss in the most important fence in the game, the one that manages the people. Also, that makes sense to me. I, however, like a globe willow, so that's going in there. And then, of course, there's that. Done this part before I put the trees in, but you know what? Where would be the fun in that? Gotta toss in trash. Because if we don't have trash cans, we're no better than the animals that we have in captivity. Minor error of where that's at. Just that. Both errors. Alright, now we can turn the trees back on. Alright, so we know that that's good and that this fence is going to be there. So that we know. We also know the same thing is going to apply to here, so we might as well go ahead. While we're paused and while I don't have anybody walking these streets, we might as well just make it easier for ourselves. So that is a thing, pretty much. Connect these, because I don't trust people in this game whatsoever. Then we can go ahead and do that basically. And I'll open this up later, because I'm certainly going to be putting things there. Jesus. Everything is corroding like crazy. 'Tis the season. Not seeing any other corrosion over here, though. You see one, you see all of it. Alright, so keep it paused. Now we're going to bring in gray wolves. It's going to be a pack of 3. Unless they decide they need more. Okay, so we will do water. Go somewhere in here. That creates an illusion of a nice lake between the moose and them. And they want conifer and deciduous along with the grass, I believe. We will go ahead and get rid of the grass underneath. And they mostly like conifer. More conifer than deciduous, but at the same time I thought that of the moose as well. Too much deciduous floor, too much grass, so I can basically hooray, I got a grant. More animals of the same type, so they do want more. Now, I've got 3 females and one boy here. I'm 90% sure it's going to tell me that one of these wolves wants a mate. I don't know if that's how wolf packs work. I don't remember. Too much conifer, not enough grass. So that's the current consensus is it's in red. I don't think it's actually a red need, huh? More animals of the same type. I only have enough shelters for the 4 of you. Alright. rocks. Like these ones. Cool. And foliage. You like a pine bush? No, you do not. You do not like a pine bush. Yellow cedar. Okay, fir tree. Good. Pacific dogwood? Yes. Yes. Okay. Deciduous bush? Yes. Good. We're learning. Lodgepole. Yeah, I mean, if the grizzly bears want it, you want it. You're the same. Low willow? No. Elm tree? I think you might just be done. You might just be done. Let's see. Yeah, you're just done. I just hit the mark. Okay. So that is pretty much North America done. I need to assign a zookeeper. Wolves. I need you to give them food real quick. Just slap some food down on the ground. Alright. So, that is the majority of North America done. We're just going to toss that there because that's a thing. Do want a few trees out here just because that does make it look better. Okay, so that's that. I do want another educational building here. We have a ton of options. I think I want an insect house. It will probably best fit right there, and also like that's right in the same vein there. So let's see about lining it up. Can't quite line it up with the monkey house, but that's okay. And delete that, and then just pass in that. And of course we have to stylistically change to the sandy tone, because the sandy tone is the best tone. So now we've got that. We're going to go ahead and style in some of the decorative stuff. Wait, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Style in some decorative stuff around it. No, we will not. That's decent enough. And then I don't like that. I think I'm trying to do too much. for one thing, let's make this just 4 on the corner, 1 right there. And we will do that. Then let's see if they can. I might be able to toss another building of some sort. Still don't have a birdhouse. Birds are good. Birds also very long, but will fit right here. Birds go there. Okay. Birds go there. That opens up. So now I have something to work with here rather than a big empty space. I have just a little empty space. So now I can actually think about what I want here. One thing, I think I want it to surround one of these. That's going to be much more visually interesting than anything else I can do. And then that. Alright, that feels like a nice enough garden. That nobody's allowed to walk through. Wood, maybe. Yeah, that actually looks great. Alright. Wonderful. That's what we want. And if people walk in there, I don't care so long as they know how to get out. Okay. Change that color of that, and then bison's giving birth again. Which I have. They are just going as quickly as possible, but you know this is the way it goes. You gotta head that off at the pasture, or else they get inbred. Which I don't know if the game has a mechanic for or not, but I'm following my own rules here. Alright, the bison gave birth again. Okay, let's turn off the trees. See exactly what I'm working with as far as spacing is concerned, and I again want to be conscious about not butting things up against things, and also just making things an odd number reduces my overall stress. Actually, I don't need that yet. Okay, so we're definitely gonna do a burger stand here, and drinks. Those are important, and then we will do large restroom. That cuts off sight lines on the bison. We will do a little gift stand right there. We will toss in some picnic tables. A bench. Other side. And of course, gotta have trash cans. And then now we can go ahead and fence this in. Paused again. Just gotta head these off at the pass, and while I'm looking, while I'm seeing everything with a set of bright, clear eyes, everything else is good. It's fine. Anyways. That. The trees back in. Yeah, that looks good to me. Feels good. So that empty space has been filled up with education and a little food area. The same thing is going to happen. I'm probably going to just toss a small something or other in here. It makes me money, but also it just keeps everybody happy. So let's see, the closest I want to be is right here. This might be just a lengthy. Actually, I don't want to do any of that. Think about it. Let's see. What do I want to do? Do you want there to be a rest area here? I think it's just going to go right here instead. So, because that way I'm not worried about. I'm not worried about my animals. I do worry about my animals. I sure do. Alright, so that's good. And this will connect right here, because that will make... Oh. I like this. It's going to connect there. This connects there. And it can also connect here as well, I suppose. This one, did burgers at the last one. I want a full-on gift shop, since this is technically on their way out. I want them to have a chance to get a gift if they do end up leaving. So that'll be there. Japanese garden is far too big. restaurant is honestly a bit big to put in there. So instead, we're gonna do pizza. Do that. This is just gonna be a big one. So drinks in the middle, pizza, hot dogs, and ice cream. And then definitely gotta have restroom access, otherwise people will be unhappy with you. And then of course cans for trash pretty much everywhere. Picnic tables. It's not really a great place for it. So that's going to be that, and then we can go ahead and stylize as we see fit. I think that's good. We don't need a gift stand because we certainly have one. So I could toss in some bouncy rides. There's nothing stopping that. But the lions have given birth. Again. And 11. It's for conservation, okay? That's the way it is. Switch that out with spruce. Bit of texture. And then over here is then the question. I could very easily just toss in some trees, but I think what I want just a sitting area. Well, what I want is a garden. So let's do that. Let's toss in a little garden. camels have given birth now. Great. There we go. I don't like that at all because it just has no form. Anyways, camels gave birth. Let's go. It's very cute, and it's going to conservation. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, friends. It needs to be a conservation issue. But all that being said, I'm not mad about where we're at here. I am just gonna toss in some trees here and call it a day. Okay. So North American section's pretty much done. There is a little bit of green space here that might turn into something. Mandrill's given birth. All right. Conservation. Sorry, friends. You'll thank me later. Okay. Well then. So that is North America done. I don't think there's any other North American species that I'm desperate to have. Because I've got bears. I just have the brown ones. I could get a Bigfoot, but I'm not going to. So I think, yeah, the only other thing for the Americas would be getting a llama or a puma. You know what? Yes to puma. We're gonna go ahead and get a puma. It's gonna go right here. That'll be kind of my bridge into the next section here. So we're gonna put it right here. Game is paused. Yes, I know. So this will be the viewing area for the puma. Fence this off now before anybody gets hurt and rather stresses out my animals. I'm really not stoked about them stressing out my animals. Almost the right spot. So that's where the mountain lions are going to go. This seems like the best choice for it to still be in sort of the quote-unquote North America section while also not getting too deep into this back section here, which is reserved for Asia, Australia, Indonesia, and penguins, which I'm probably going to get polar bears too, so I'll do polar bears and penguins next to each other, even though polar bears are technically North American species and penguins are technically not at all. But we will go ahead and get just a pair of mountain lions. They're going to want probably a rock sugarcane is going to be their preference. And they're going to want a whole lot of stone. Brownstone, graystone, foliage, and water. So let's start with the water. Just going to line this. So there's no grass that I'm missing along that perimeter. All right. Too much graystone, not enough brownstone. Also, I get that they're named mountain lions, but like, they totally live in the woodlands. They can handle a bit more grass. Okay. That's fine. They want cliffs and hills. Let them decide. Because this is a Himalayan birch, not the North American kind. They like sage. Yeah, they like sage. They like larches. Bamboo? No, they didn't figure, but you gotta check. Alright, that's good. And then rocks. Yeah, I know, but they weren't telling me about the cliffs or hills. I'm willing to give that a pass. Alright, I need a zookeeper. You're getting pumas, and you're going to live in there. So that means they have the wolves, the moose, and the pumas. And you have these two. Sorry, bud. Let's go through my animals again, make sure I don't have more than I'm supposed to have. Moose 3. When did I get to male moose? No, the mountain lions aren't happy. It took too long with their enclosure. They're getting more happy, are they not? No, they're not. They're not getting more happy. Try to max out their happiness then. What do they like? Oh, that's what they like. They want any more rock? No. Their happiness is 4. Why is their happiness 4? I don't like this. Wait, toys. I have a cat tree, do I not? Leopards. Pumas climb too. You count as lions in this game? Alright. You need enrichment, but I cannot give it to you. I don't know when that happened, but sometimes you have to just sell your animals and let them get happy on their own, because they're furious. 84%. Did take it up just a hair. What if I more sagebush? What if I switch out a couple of paperbrush for your sagebush? That's 85. It's in the green now. Do you get happy now that you're in the green? I just need your happiness to recover. That's all I want. If you can start getting happier, that would make me... Yay! Happiness is recovering. Okay. We did it. They're not going to be angry forever. Also, we just got a giant panda, which is just in time because we need to work on the Asia section. That actually looks pretty good from this angle. Yeah, so that's North America done, other than maybe some style here. I don't know exactly what I want to do there. But that being said, I'm pretty happy with where we're at, actually. Yes, I know the mountain lions aren't happy, but they were getting happier last I checked. They are working on it. So we can get a giant panda now. So that is something that we can do. I want to work on Asia, and I want the giant panda to be kind of the center point of our Asia exhibit. That's going to be in here. So I think I want the giant pandas to kind of go like right here and have multiple viewing areas. Gray wolves have babies. Okay. Mountain lions are slowly getting happier. It's for the betterment of your guys' spot there. These look out of place. Yes, so I think I want, rather than having it, like I like the idea of it turning right there, don't get me wrong. But I do think I want like the panda enclosure to go right here and have like multiple viewing areas into the panda enclosure, and then build Asia around the panda enclosure. So let's kind of toss this together, huh? So if I want the panda enclosure to be the centerpiece of this section of the zoo, right? So I want it to be pretty big. Not huge, but that'll be the pandas. And then, yes, I would like viewing area there, viewing area there, maybe even one right here. So that's panda area. Man, that thing is huge. Okay, I didn't realize how big I made this. That's okay. For pandas, I think it's worth it. That makes sense. And then have an Asian exhibit, Asian exhibit, Asian exhibit, Asia exhibit. Some more stuff over there. And then this can be some Indonesian and Australian species in here and along there. So that's, I think, what I want this to kind of look like. Panda is not inaccessible to zoo staff. Come on. Or do I? I don't like it. It doesn't fit the way I've got everything else set up. So rather, pandas are going to be one of many in Asia. That being the case, then, this is the closest I want to get to the. So I can actually just pop off of here. Still be fine. Actually like that either. I like this. This is fine. This is a fine way to do what I'm trying to do, right? So that can end right there. That's a good place to end it. All right. So that means I could technically put another animal right in here as a beginning to the Asian section, basically. And that would mean that I actually want to do it this way, basically, where get that there, this here. And that's kind of the last bit of how the zoo is organized. And then I could connect these. But then this can be Asia, and if it needs to branch into here, it can. And this will be kind of anything that branches off of this one will be not Asia. Anything that branches off of this, and maybe this will be Asia. Speaking of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that is a little thin, so I'm gonna just back this up just a hair. That way, if we do, which we probably will, let's face facts, if we do expand to the left over here, I have room for enclosures on the back wall here. That's part of why we have this awkward space right here. Right at the zoo entrance is I just didn't leave myself quite enough room for anything meaningful to happen there. So that being what it is, let's see if there's any other educational buildings we can put in real quick. Put in a petting zoo. That actually isn't a bad idea. We can do a petting zoo and put in a Japanese garden. Well, we could actually, yeah, we could put a Japanese garden in here as the beginning to Asia. I don't like how it looks. I think it's supposed to be pretty, but the vibe is off. So there is an animatronics theater we could toss in that is vaguely in the style of Japanese theater. Otherwise, we can toss in a petting zoo and just call it. Because otherwise, I've done. We could do an animal theater. Oh, no. Wait. That gives Coliseum vibe. No, it's educational animal shows. It gives Coliseum vibe, though. You all see it. You all see it. Alright, anyways, yeah, that will be what I toss there. And of course, gotta fence that in. Not really that bad, that much, but hey, you know, at this point we're in. We're in on the whole getting things fenced in properly. Then behind, we will toss that in. I think we just leave it there. Much more and I will mess it up. Okay. But I will put in a hedge on this side. That way it looks semi-complete. Let's go ahead and put in a viewing area right here. Cool. Also, I don't think that last viewing area did not get everything it needed. Hold on. No wonder the Pumas are mad. They didn't get a sign. Or a trash can. People were going to throw trash at them. Of course they didn't want. Of course they were mad. See, now their happiness is at 22. Which is fine. Okay. So what's this going to be? This is going to be my introduction to Asia. I think, yeah, it's going to be an Okapi. And yeah, it's just going to be one. They prefer being to themselves, but also like small exhibit. Well, Okapi's not Asia, dingus. Okapi's Africa. I will rename it in a sec. Good God. I'm doing fine. It's not going to be a tiger. Tigers are huge. That's not Asian. Let's see. We could do a Komodo dragon. They don't need a lot of space. We'll do 2 Komodos. So and it is the right amount of space. Hallelujah. Is it a little telling that the Zoo Tycoon game doesn't think the giant lizards want shelter? Yes. But such is life. Greystone. Sand. Rainforest terrain. Yeah. Okay. Not enough sand, not enough fresh water still. So we'll give them another thing of fresh water there. Still not enough greystone. And not enough sand. There's no more grass. Too much sand, not enough fresh water. Okay. I get that they live on an island, but I don't think that that's as big of a deal as the game is making it. Because also it's an island. So I don't get why that's quite as big a deal. Anyways. Okay, that's easy enough. This goes here. Second. Alright. That's that. Viewing platform made, because that's the most important thing, right? Is making sure that my guests can view my animals and everything works out. So that's good. And then I had a floating staff member. Had no assignment. Your assignment is going to start here. Yeah, see, I can turn a profit when I don't build a bunch of stuff. I've just been building a lot this month. So that is our first trip to Asia. Because of that, even though there's a food area right there, there is dead space here, and I don't like dead space. So we are going to go ahead and toss in another gift shop. Since I don't have one over here. There it is. We're going to kind of toss it back here so that we'll have to... No, we just won't do it. We'll do it later. Yes. Head that off at the pass. Yes, I know that the Komodo dragon cannot find food. It's because you weren't where you were supposed to be. Right. Next animal for Asia. I think we're going to do orangutans right here. I think it's a good entry into Asia, and, you know, why not? We could do a Javan rhino, actually. Yeah, maybe we do a Javan rhino. Because then snow leopards and pandas for sure. Let's do a Javan rhino. That sounds fun. Alright, where is my person that goes and lives with the camels? Nope, they're coming. Okay. I need you to run when the camels are sick. Okay. Go ahead and do orangutans. And it's going to be a man and a couple women. A boy and a few girls. And dirt, rainforest, and no fresh water. Interesting. Anyways. Too much dirt, not enough rainforest. Okay. Cliffs and hills, rocks, shelters and toy, and foliage. do for shelters. Have this the rope swing, that'll go there because this is a show for show people. And then, yes. So, one rope swing is not enough for this amount of orangutans, so they will get another one. Horse and Hills, which not a ton. Okay. That's not how orangutan power structure works, my friend. We'll go ahead and get rid of an orangutan because orangutans do not mate for life. You gotta mate. It's the boy. The boy is your mate for both of you. I'm sorry for the primate propaganda, but that is how orangutans do. Cool. I have researched everything. Good. Well, that means I can get rid of that. And that saves me $13 a month. Oh boy. There. Make sure I have the amount of animals I set out to have. Yes. That's good, and all the animals are happy. Most of them are not hungry. So all is well so far there. So let's see. I think I said I wanted a snow leopard or a clouded leopard. I think would be good to go in here. I love that I said that it was going to be Southeast Asia and Australia that we're going to be together, but that's a lie. If I get some kangaroos, they're going in here, and they'll just be at the intersection between North America and Australia, and then I'm going to get polar bears and penguins back here. That's really what's happening. I forgot to do my standard. Anyways. So I think we're doing a clouded leopard. I think that's going to be the play here. They can be kind of right there. It is not inaccessible to zoo staff. I don't know what they're feeding you, but this guy right here can get to there. Okay. That. That. And what's a toy? We have. Yes. You are a leopard, even though I don't think clouded leopards. What do you mean you want to have a mate? You guys are solitary, you dinguses. Right, you got one. There's a girl in here now. Alright. It's fine. I'm fine with it for, you know, just like, oh, we got a new Komodo dragon. Bye. You're gonna, yeah, they don't even care. You gotta get sold for the conservation. That's just how it goes. Alright, and then do a little bit of tree trimming around here. I am quickly running out of money. I've done a lot with the money I was given, but I'm quickly running out. Okay. What do we need to give you guys? Food. And that's the last duty you get. gotta keep the lions fed, friends. Otherwise, they're going to break out and they're going to eat somebody. It's just the way it works. I need to see whether I'm still turning a profit or not. So I'm going to cool it for a month. Zoo from the angle is meant to be viewed from, whichever one that actually is. This one. Okay. No. This one. This is how the zoo is meant to be viewed from. Yeah, I'm just going to be patching holes for a sec. I don't want the animals to leave. I do want pandas. Might be the next thing we do, but I need to see that we're turning a profit for March. Okay. Yeah, technically that's a profit. Just don't make that much money. Draft 3 died. More drafts. Just another pair of drafts in. That's genetic diversity at its finest. So we sold some drafts and got new drafts for genetic diversity. My animal happiness is 97%, so that's cool for me. So that area needs to be something. Just a small medium size. Well, the ostriches gave birth again. 8. Do it at the end. Pause for a second. Just a little area for anybody in this area. You could get some food, get some drink, use the bathroom, all that fun stuff. I think I'm breaking even / turning a profit, so that'll work. Question is, do I go ahead and just pull the trigger and get pandas? Yes. I think it's time for the pandos. Get pretty sizable enclosure because it's pandas. age, so it's about time to get new blood. Year 3, something that lives 30 years, is dying of old age. Fine. So, new boy in town. Mr. Hills grass, conifer, greystone snow. Conifer, greystone snow. Fresh water? In case it's a no grass environment. Don't think it is a no grass environment. But and some snow here and there. Too much greystone, too much grass, not enough conifer. Not enough grass, too much greystone. Not enough conifer. Okay. Not enough grass, too much greystone. What the heck? You made greystone red. hire a new staff member to handle the pandas. Something dangerous. There's the leopards. We have pandas. Pandas are happy. With that, I'm running out of money. Yeah, we might pick this up for one more week. Otherwise, I'm actually pretty happy with where the zoo's at right now, but we might pick it up for another week. Although, I'm probably going to try to run it for a little while so that we can get some more money, because Lord knows we need the more money. So right next to the pandas real quick, we are gonna add in gardens for the aesthetic, for the hashtag aesthetic. But that is going to be it for tonight, no matter what. And then we will see next week whether we come back and do a part 3. I'm not going to go past 3 parts on this. But we will see if a part 3 is something we want to do. Otherwise, we'll start doing something else for a little bit. But as always, thank you all so much for coming by, watching. Really appreciate it. And yeah. I'm pretty happy with the zoo. We've got Africa and North America completely done. Got a little bit more work on Asia and the poles. And then we might hide something special in the back here. But that's all right. As always, thanks again. I'll see you guys soon. Let me save this. All right. Window this. Alright, bye everybody. See you later. Maybe.